Mr. Bradshaw at addsometoyouриncome.com here to share with you mostly quotes today that come under the thought of do what you love and then you love what you do. In this is, and you'll see in the quotes and the stories, I also share what I tell my kids every night, the thought that when you do what you love, the money will follow. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's get some quotes in here of others who are saying that. Let's dive into this very interesting way to add some to your income. A lot of the focus in labor income and what we teach our children is get a high-paying job. What I'm about to say is that a high-paying job is not what you should be doing. Charles Schwab said it this way: the man who does not work for the love of work, but only for money, is not likely to make money nor find much fun in life. This really comes true for me and for others that are around me. When I talk about what you really enjoy and you work for the love of work, because you love what you're doing, later money comes to you. And those who go after money and just wanting to make more money find that they don't make a lot of money. Interesting thing is that my topic is money. I talk about making more money. That's my topic. I speak about this. So I view myself as a speaker, not as someone who makes a lot of money. I have found ways to make more money, and that excites me. It's something I like to talk about. I do this work for the love of the work, the love of getting in front of the camera and making these videos, the love of connecting with people on this topic. And it's about money. So for me, I almost have this sliver of a personality thing that's really close to, well, I talk about making more money. And yet, the work I like to do is talking about. My topic is money. All right, moving forward. I came across this article of an artist who he's doing his own thing and he's succeeding at it. I find it most interesting. I try to put it right here at the center. Pizza. Pieces of pizza in the shape of states. So he's got two of them there to make Michigan because of the interesting shape of Michigan around the lakes, right? And then he turns it sideways instead of the way we're used to seeing it. He's being artistic. He makes you see a shark there, dinosaurs in ballet clothes. Anyway, his name is Abbas Hussan, and he was able to get himself in a position where he was able to quit his daytime job and start doing art full-time. He got to that point where he was just making enough money and realized he could do that. And I love the part of his story where he goes to his old college professor, the art college professor, and he's like, okay, I'm going pro now, so what is your advice? And the college professor says, well, don't quit your day job. To which he replies, what's your second piece of advice? Because he'd already moved, he'd already taken that step, which is just so exciting for him and for me to learn about. And I predict, this is just a prediction, that he's going to really go somewhere with his art and become something. Obviously, he already got into an education article that I read, so he's getting somewhere. So you see, when you do your work with your whole heart, and you will succeed, promise, because there is so little competition when you are working with your whole heart. When you are in it with all of your heart, all of you in it, there are so few people like that. There are so few people who have busted open their heart to the world and just share it. And they put all this work into some magnificent piece of art, just because that's what's on my mind after going from the previous story. You will free up and find yourself in this new spot. One morning I was exercising. This Find Your Spot reminds me to tell this story. I was just leaving the gym, and there is this gentleman that I met. His name was Rob, and he was helping out I think he's high school age kid, maybe just out of high school, whose name was Alex. And he's telling Alex, well, he's shooting his hoops, and I'm seeing there morning after morning after morning. And he's telling Alex one morning, find your spot, and he misses. He gives him the basketball back. Find your spot. He shoots. He misses. He gives him the basketball back. He says, find your spot. And he shoots and he misses. And Rob sends it right back to him and says, find your spot. And he shoots and he makes it. He's like, now that worked. Realize what you did, and that's your spot. What I know, for me, looking on, there was no difference between any of those shots. They were at the exact same location on the floor, which was a tough spot to make a shot from. It was exactly the same basketball hoop. It hadn't moved. And what Alex did looked exactly the same. There was such a tiny little millimeter of a difference in what he did that he made the shot. And then Rob told him, that's your spot. That to me, I have no idea what he changed. It was so little. In whatever you're in right now, wherever you're at, and you're not loving it, find your spot. And that doesn't necessarily mean quit your day job, run off, and get a whole new life. But it does mean make a little... That's the bell ringing. It's time to be off on the races. It does mean find that little millimeter of a difference that you need to do to make the shot and feel great about what you're doing, loving what you're doing. Another quote, you can only become truly accomplished at something you love. When people ask this question, and I've spoken to it before, should I do what I love or should I make a lot of money? Do what you love, because then you'll make a lot of money. The money is not your goal, just as Maya says here. Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things you love doing and then do them so well. People can't take their eyes off you. And really, you'll find you can't take your eyes off them. You make that connection, that eye contact. I'm changing you, aren't I? Because of how much you're watching me and what I'm doing. What I love about this is when I move away from my turn on the stage and watch other people on the stage, I can't take my eyes off them either as I watch and learn from them. And it's brought a whole new life to living because I see it all over the place. People who are doing what they love and sharing with the world become successful, and their stories become successful, and they just spellbound me. It is spellbounding to see and feel these moments when you're in the flow. Here's what I tell my kids at night, tucking them in, nice warm covers on you. You are taken care of, you are loved, and when you grow up, you can be, do, and have whatever you want. And then I say, I love you. My kids are going to grow up knowing that they can do it. They can do whatever they want to do. They can be it. They can be what they want to be. They can make their to-be list and go be that. And if they really want to have something, they really want it, whatever they want, they'll know to go for it. All right, it's not hard work that burns people out, but rather the feeling that their work doesn't matter. You see, when you're working from the place of it's your calling in life to do this, like teachers, to people who step into teaching, I am surrounded with people who have found a calling in life. The paycheck is there. They love to make more money. Most of them are married to a spouse where they have enough money coming in that it's not for more money. A lot of them are actually retired from something else, and now they're choosing to do some teaching, regardless of who it is and their story. Each person's story is a little different. It's a calling. And I know it's true because one of my coworkers got an incredible amount of inheritance from his dad. Just a huge amount of money. He didn't even realize his dad had that much money. And he continued to teach. He continually teaches. He's teaching. And so he, in fact, made it so 100%, every single penny of his paycheck goes into his 401k. And he no longer needs to teach. And he does, because it's a calling for him. Find your calling in life. Teaching's really tough, so beware if you go that route. All right, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts. Now, this is Andrew Carnegie. So goal back in that day was like create your vision, have your mission. We've come up with other things that we say nowadays that he's saying there when he says set a goal. So set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energies, and inspires your hopes. So that's the envisioning your future. I was just talking with someone today about the exercise of visualization and how exciting that is and how much it can change your life by visualizing. And there's a couple ways to do it. You can either focus on something or you can focus on a scene that you paint. So the something could be, I'm going to really visualize about, let's say I want to become part of the skydiving team. Okay, I'm going to visualize myself skydiving. I'm going to go the whole process, everything that I need to do, especially if I have a fear about it, to then be brave enough to go do that. And then to join it, there's the next bell. To join a team and then join in and become a skydiver, right? So when you visualize that way, you're getting yourself to a specific spot. Instead, the other way is like you visualize what would be in your environment if you were to be feeling peaceful. Okay, and that's probably not skydiving thing, right? But what is that in that environment that you would start imagining? And you basically start with blank walls everywhere, and then you start putting into your little blank box the things you're thinking about that would bring you peace. And you paint a whole new scene where you visualize the feeling of what it would be there for you to have peace. Anyway, visualization isn't. I'm going to move on. That just came up because I was someone I talked with today. And now a quick story about a painted Dalmatian. A friend of mine was saying he came home, they had a white dog. Their kids had watched some Dalmatian movie and had the brilliant idea of getting the dog with black spots. So this poor dog had paint being splashed on it and its eyes out in the garage. So then my friend comes home and paint everywhere. And there's a trail going out back, and he goes out back, and there's the dog still suffering with the child trying to get paint on it. And of course, the child immediately freezes when dad's there and is like, "Oops." Yeah. Don't be a painted dog to pretend to be a Dalmatian. You do you, and you do what you love, so that you will make more money. And I will see you on the other side.